author, CEO of the Maximilian Enterprises, Mental Health and Cultural Strategist, the CCLD 25 Lead Delegate, and the Posh Icon W. Dr. Cornelia Walter-Jones is a dynamic Jamaican leader, educator, and author with a powerful mission to use culture, mental wellness, and innovation to drive social and economic impact. She is the CEO of the Maximilian Enterprises, a global consulting firm specializing in business transformation, digital innovation, healthcare tech, and climate strategy. With over 15 years of experience, she has led major projects in Jamaica, Belize, Mexico, the US, and the Caribbean across industries like manufacturing, finance, and FMCG, working with companies such as Glasgow, Grace Kennedy, and Jamaica National. She holds a PhD in Christian counseling and psychology and is the founder of Joy Academy, where she serves as Chief Joy Officer, offering grief counseling, wellness retreats, law therapy, and resilience coaching. Dr. Walter-Jones is the author of 10 books, including the popular Jamaican Proverbs series and a practical guide to surviving the teenage years. Her upcoming novel, On Love, explores trauma, love, and generational healing in rural Jamaica. In 2025, she was selected as a lead delegate for the Caribbean Canada Leadership Dialogue, representing Jamaica in policy and innovation discussion. She is also a Posh Icon Woman 2025 nominee in the category of Community Culture Impact. Her philanthropy includes the Dr. Cornelia Walter-Jones High School Scholarship, supporting rural Jamaican students, and ongoing work with churches, civic groups, and youth programs. Fluent in Spanish and experienced in multicultural settings, Dr. Walter-Jones brings a global, inclusive perspective to everything she does. Her vision to become Jamaica's first book billionaire reflects her passion for using Caribbean stories to inspire worldwide change. Please put your hands together and help me welcome the guest speaker for today's ceremony, Dr. Walter-Jones.
Thank you. Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, ladies. You did it, you did it, you did it. Listen, every time I hear my biography, I get goosebumps. Lord, you look nice. Parents, today is the day. But before I get into it, let me, all protocols observed, I'm not going to get into all of it, but most importantly, I would love to greet the extraordinary class of 2025. All right, so parents, I'm gonna need your help. Here during my little speech and my little spiel, I'm gonna say a word and you're gonna repeat the word, okay? Parents, we're not gonna repeat the word. All right. So today's theme is called From Adversity to Excellence, our journey of triumph. And I changed it because this story I'm going to tell is about moving from adversity to excellence, and this is my journey and my triumph. And one of the things, ladies, is that this time it's not final. You just a begin, you just a start. Let us get into it. I have 3 things. It is going to be a very short speech. I have 3 things I'd love to say to you. The first thing is, number 1, God is the author of our lives, and we take that from Jeremiah 29 verse 11. It says, for I know The plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and future. Now, it was 20, I'm going to tell my age. It was 25 years ago that I graduated from the St. High School. Please encourage. I had barely scraped through with 4 dege CXE. 4 dege. When I got my results, I asked myself, then if I didn't have lunch money every day, would I mash up CXE? While my cousins pestered me about university. Yeah, my university. Yeah, I got 6 farm. Hey, you got 6 farm. Yeah, I said I'm going, every day in my ears. But all my mind was on money. All my mind was on go find a local work. Because I barely make it through high school. I'm talking about 6 farm. No 6 farm beer. Yeah, uniform. Minister don't talk about bus fare. Yes, bus fare now is what, $700? Back then, it was $100 and I couldn't find it. But listen, let me stay to script because I have 20 minutes, right? I get into it. So I knew I was on my own. No one was coming to save me. I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out like I always did. No for you sit down in the seat right now and say, well, when CXC come, I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to 6 farm, I'm going to find a work, I'm going to pay. For those students who have parents who have laid the way and you know exactly where you're going, I'm so happy for you. For those who don't know what along, yes, sister, miss you. Me do it go. So, I was a C student. I was a C, what me say? C. What me say? C student. Right throughout high school. But I knew the only way I was going to make it is if me and get some education. Hunger. What me say? Hunger way. So when I was in grade 7, I got to the first year of high school in grade 7. You know Sensei Fall? I saw me look like a Sensei Fall. Barely make it straight through. And I remember one night, Minister don't know my constituents. I'm from Newport. When I pass Richmond, then go flew to Zion and go up and go down. We are mountain people, down there so. Where the wind go and come back. Yeah, down there so. And I was there one night, I had to go for water. Tired. Nobody know kata? Yes. Say kata? So after I go for the water now, and I take out the kata and the bucket off on my head, and I said, no, for this life, mind you, I wasn't in Kingston first, then I moved to St. Mary, right? So then I forget, I acclimatize myself to this water carrying and all these things, right? Anyways, so I finished carrying the water and I look up to the heavens in the starry night. In Newport, there was not a lot of light, so you could see stars in the night. It was a very cool night. I'm a ball out and I said, Father God, you have to take me out of this. Say, have to take me out of this. Mr. Father God, I can't manage this, man. This is not my life. I reject this life. This life of misery, this life of poverty is not for me. I don't want it. So you have to fix it. And so my body up, you know. I never understand that you have to fear God. I never understand it them time about me. Just all you know is my life was miserable and it's only God was going to change that life. Yes or no? Yes. Say change. Yes. But my God always answer me. I don't know about all, but my God, He ever answer me. If you not send somebody, He send it in a dream. If you not send it in a dream, I see it in a movie. If you not see it in a movie, I see it on a sign. So, my God, He took me 2 weeks. And He sent a messenger. The messenger name was Miss Palda. Miss Valda now was a little lady, she kind of stuck here and her hair white. And that was a praying woman. So the day she catch me now, but on the train line, I never have a bus fare, Minister, don't know which they did have the bus system them time there. So a rich man may go walk now, you know, I tell us about 1 hour walking, you know. On the train line, you know, go through the tunnel, cross the river, clean off your shoes and then continue walking, right? You kept on a journey, you know, mommy. And the lady stopped me. I don't know arguments, you know, come here and say, when this lady has stopped me for now, I need to go coming out. You know, said, Mr. Johnson going to lock me out of school, I need to reach at school earlier. And she grabbed me and she said, hold my hand and she said, I have a message for you. I have a message for you. Hold my hand and say, looking at me, yeah. Forgive the patois, guys. Most of my speech is going to be like this, okay? It's not that type of speech, it's the patois speech you're getting today, okay? So she said, looking at me, yeah. Say, yeah. She said, looking at me, yeah, I have a message for you. God said to tell you, say, in hear you. And it is going to be well. You are going to go places. You are going to travel upon plane like how you take taxi when you have the money to take the taxi. You are going to sit in high places. You are going to talk to ministers. You are going to meet kings and queens. You are going to go places. Trust in me. Believe in me. But don't give up. I have little manners. Has anybody supposed to talk to that like that, a body move like that, right? The second thing I have to tell you is called, it says, bet on yourself. Say bet. Bet. Me not hear no. Bet on yourself. Bet. Alright, that comes from Philippians 4, verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you're tired, when you feel like you're going to dead, you're not going to make it. When you know where the money come from to go for the university. When you have to go resit the CXC. So I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I left side Mary. Me left side Mary, me move that on, because I work never there. I work me this say money out. The work never there here, so I had to find myself in Kingston where the work was, right? I go on Chinese man shop, mommy. Chinese man said, I never know about camp until I go Chinese man shop. You have to go early, you have to do everything, you have to clean the floor. And then one day there was a theft. So the people come, it's one of the Chinese shops who sell the perfume, a Silver Slipper Plaza. Anybody know town where they sell perfume? So somebody come in there, come thief. And then the Chinese man get mad, and then lock up the door, and then the Chinese man say, what? I'm not you know, like a kung fu movie, the man uncle left to kick out 2 teeth. But one thing, you know, guys, be not afraid of no boy, no girl. But Mama P said, no girl, no boy, no way, no. Mr. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You don't talk to me like that. So then you have to go to Mr. Chinese man, you have to pay me money, I met McDonald's, so I was an employee. And then I moved from there, and I in a accounting center, and then I went to call center, and then I work at a hotel, and then I go back to an accounting firm. So I say, what I say money out? I even went as far as Jordan JDF. You're looking at the Richard, you man, that soldier man, with the voice and mine, strict. You didn't have to go in the army. Went into the army, I was very successful at my selection board. But then, during the time for training, my then boyfriend, no husband, said, nah, go work, say nah, go work. Me know why you're not in the army, because if you're going to the army, me don't know me I can manage, because if you're already strict and rigid, so you can't imagine if they give me gun with big boot. Husband said, at the time, boyfriend said, no, you can't go in the army. Can't go. Nobody go in there. It was a big fight. But I said, you know what? Alright, so I'm going to leave it alone. And furthermore, I had other plans to leave, because I prayed about it. So I'm in my office, and the minimum wage work. Can't hardly manage to buy lunch. And I said, well, what is it? What is this? Then God may tell me about promise and about plane and about me kings and about what is this? Me not going to be knocking in this place there. So I decided I was going to volunteer in Peru because in a high school we did love Spanish, you know. Love Spanish. But go the first time I do CXC, me get 5. And then I go back again and I get 6. I say, no man, I count. Love Spanish, but Spanish never loved me in high school. And again, I never have the lunch money and bus fare. So going to school is important. Going to class all the time is important. And because I never attended the class so regular, that's why I made a call 5, 6. I said, but really, I do it again, probably get 7. So I leave it alone. But me with myself, because God gave me this promise that I'm going to go places. And I said, no, if me I go see this accounting firm, I'm not reach no way. So I decided, I'm going to go volunteer. And I was going to, Spain had a program in Kingston where you get some free Spanish class, so me go there. And I said, but I can't go volunteer, man. That never worked out. And then one of my friends said to me, oh, you know, check one of the Spanish embassy. Check the Spanish embassy, and them say God. What I say God. So I call up Mexican embassy, yes man, we have a scholarship, and you need your papers, you know, who have like a boat, boom, 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 come and hide here, get my papers, check, go down to the ministry, blah, blah, blah. 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to Mexico. Say God. Number 3, right here is a hot, forgive me. Can I get one piece of paper for white my face, please? Thank you. Number 3, hardship. John 16, verse 33 says, in this world, you will have trouble. Jesus said it in a way, he said, trouble. But take heart. I have overcome the world. Gracias, mi amor. That's why we can't go here. So here it was, this little girl from Newport District, Lakewood girl from Newport District, and the people in country reach out Mexico with must have $500. Look here, when God gave promise, I said, Jody, man, and pastor. Yeah, so me in Mexico, I don't know where I'm going to eat, I sleep. I just know that I get a scholarship. And I'm going to go. Because the Lord wouldn't have provided if you may not go make a way. Say, provide. Go by faith. So anyway, I'm getting to the system and I'm going on, man. Sister getting 90s and 100. Spanish school, Spanish, you know. No English, you know, Spanish, right? And 90s and 100s, me mash it up. Can't get something now to worry about lunch when I must fear again. Me I get the stipend. Anyways, we're going on a trip. Go on a trip. How much time we gone? Up on the trip. So we went to a customs. Now my first degree is international trade and customs, so we had to go to a customs house. So we know I live in a state called Puebla, and Mexico City is like town. So we don't live like St. Mary, and then I got town. Cool? So we go on one trip. Everybody a big woman and big man, you know. Go on the trip. When we go on the trip now, they said everybody is going to eat at a Mexican restaurant. Remember saying what I told me going on? Thank you, my baby. Thank you. Bless you. I told me going on. Then I got tell me, say, me know I have to go eat Mexican food when we can get a country. I can't see no one, no. How for money I pay for? My money, no. Say money. My money I pay for it. Then I go look for big 25-year-old person at the time just doing university. I got tell me, say, everybody has to eat at this restaurant and nobody else is going to go anywhere. You know, say. So I just turned to the gentleman and I said to him, I will be going to eat at KFC and I will see you here at 4 o'clock and I turn. When me look, one bag of people, everybody behind me like a, chicken and hen, everybody behind me and God behind me. Left the man by themselves. And Mexican men, very macho, they have to say the last word. By the time they got the chicken out of my teeth and belch and come back 4 o'clock like I promised, and I was on the bus on my way back to Puebla, I heard that I was going to be suspended. Say suspended. In my class, there was 3 people from Suriname. And I said, what am I being suspended? And no, remember, let me tell you how it works. You see, they suspend you? Where you go? No. Let me say, where you go? Your yard, your go home. Yes? Alright. So my Suriname friends and said to me, say sorry. Because all of this was about apologizing, stroking the ego of this gentleman. And I stood my ground. And I said, I am not sorry. I am not saying sorry. Because I did nothing wrong. Did I do anything wrong? Me, I buy my food and you want to tell me what to eat? You want to dictate and stipulate a tour Jamaica? Yeah, man? So anyways, one day I went to school. They moved out the whole entire class. I left me one in my class. Hey, people, I'm serious, I'm going to go the next day. And the next day, same thing. See, one day they lock up the school gate for me. I said, I'm going to call police. I feel so the same, mommy. Well, I know. And so, I said, okay. During that time, they said, say alone. Me alone and God. It's all the Surinamese, my friends, they take on themselves, because they don't want the repercussions from what are coming up. And me alone, But the thing with Cornelia is, my love, my mother always tell me, say good friend better than pocket money. What me say? And I had a friend named Elizabeth. She was a lady in the Ministry of Education. And I called her and I said to her, this is what is happening. And she said, what? They must have, appear university and I'm free. So, anyway, I ended up, long story short, I ended up at the Ministry of Education of Mexico. And I went with the minister. And the minister said to me, Cornelia, tell me, do you owe these people money? I said, no. She said, what is your grade? I said, 99.9. 99.9 is my grade. She said, what you say? I said, 99. 99. She said, repeat to me what you said about the trip. And I did. Lady clapped up the name, Ingeniero. What do you mean, Ingeniero? Ingeniero, she called up Ingeniero, means engineer. And she said, I have a child here, a student here, with some very troubling news. Can you confirm what she's saying is true? He said, yes. She said, let me tell you something. I can't tell you what she's saying in Spanish, we can't translate it here. This is all in Spanish, eh? She said, let me tell you something. They said, Monday morning, bright and early, you make sure that she's reinstated. And I showed up Monday morning, bright and early. When I show up Monday morning, bright and early, gate open, engineer at the gate welcoming me, asking if I want a cup of coffee. Say favor. I graduated that program with a 98 average. I was valedictorian. Say hardship. Hardship. Hey, the hearts, if me ain't a fret, because members say me no backup plan at Jamaica, all the dog be sent to get $500. You know, having that thing to come home to you, but let me tell you something. You see, I am going to stand on business. I am an ethical and a moral person, and I am not going to lie. And if I had apologized, it would not have been what my true self. I would have rather they send me go back and but me nah apologize. Because when you know who you are and whose you are, God will protect you. Say protect. Protect. So, I done this course, I'm going to come home. Because you're bonding when I get a scholarship, yeah? And I came home and I worked in Ramses, I worked with Lasco, I worked with Jamaica Biscuit, I worked with Grace Kennedy. I was the divisional project lead manager for Grace Kennedy. I worked in Belize, in all of the countries then you can think of. And all of this is to say, guys, this little girl, this little barefoot girl from St. Mary, where I carry water upon her head, was able to do this because I knew that the only only single solitary way to get you out of poverty is through education. And no man, or unless you have a little inheritance, it's not no man, it's not no scamming, it is going to school, it is investing in yourself, it's learning a skill. If you don't want to go to university, learn a skill. Start a business. I was a C student. I was told in my community I'm not going to come to nothing. I'm going to breed and have 20 picnic because I'm feisty and I'm talking the truth. And when you talk the truth, people are not going to like you. Oh, yes? Them say you're feisty. I am not no manners. I am not go nowhere because don't let anybody speak on you because whatever gift that God has put inside of you, nobody can take it from you. I have 3 things. I'm closing. I know me on time. May I close? Number 1, I'm leaving you with this. I encourage you, ladies, trod with God. Say trod with God. Yeah, man. Make sure you have a personal relationship with Him. Number 2, believe in yourself. God has given you everything. Everything you need is inside of you, or anything you feel like you need to go get, to go study, to make it, do it. Go study. And 3, if you can dream it, believe me, babes, you can achieve it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. And I leave you with this. Hardship is unavoidable. Hardship is inevitable. Hardship is inescapable. Make hardship your gasoline. Purpose your spark. And success your fire. Thank you.